The Indiana Fever adopted a different strategy and quietly released full workout footage of Caitlin Clark and their newly drafted rookies. We're not talking about a few sloppy moves thrown together for the camera. We're talking about crisp ball handling, smooth transitions, sharp teamwork, and real game time focus, all happening within just 48 seconds. Angel Reese has released footage of her working out in the gym, but it's only a few seconds, like 9 seconds. Keep in mind that Angel Reese has told us that people are watching basketball because of me as well. The Indiana Fever lads recently released workout footage of their rookies. Finally, they have released footage of their rookies playing. The real question is, when you have one player focused on creating something special and another more focused on curating an image for the cameras, who would you bet your future on? Don't rush to answer, because what you're about to see will make the answer painfully obvious. If one group is clearly chasing clout with jittery footage and the other is putting in real gritty work to build lasting chemistry. When Angel Reese posted her brief 10-second clip, what caught our attention was the lack of genuine substance. A few clumsy shots, some awkward footwork, and a complete lack of competitive fire. In fact, the entire clip looked more like a last-minute attempt to generate clicks than any actual training session. However, if you're excited about the Fever this season, comment, "I've got the Fever," down below. Let's go one person to beat. And the Indiana Fever made a different kind of statement with their full practice footage featuring Caitlin Clark alongside rookies Michaela Timson, Bree, and how they got here. How about the pick and pop where no one drops? What is she going to do? Shoot another long two? I teach a class on where to shoot the basketball from, and you will learn not to shoot from here on day one. Let's get it, Jewel Reese, and she finally succeeded. She shot enough bricks to build her very first home. Congratulations, everyone. These rookies didn't just show up. They locked in right away. Caitlin's court vision was as clear as ever, threading passes into tight windows and setting the tempo for the team. No fancy filters were needed, just real basketball being played at a high level. Let's just take a look at the hour workout right here. Aaliyah Boston is going and talking with Michaela Timson right away. And there is Ivan Egypt and Hall and Ivan Zine demonstrated what true preparation looks like. Bree Hall, so the three of them are here running the pick and roll, which hopefully includes some Egypt layup. All right, Bree Hall was some post-work spot-up shooting. That's what the team will do if she makes it. Oh, did we just see that? Obviously there is the pick and roll, but did we just see the athletic Michaela Timson? She's out here catching lobs in this workout footage. The contrast couldn't be more stark. Angel is chasing viral moments, and Caitlin is focused on controlling Twitter. It only took a few seconds of Angel Reese's video to show that she isn't receiving the serious coaching she needs to succeed at the professional level. Rather than addressing her obvious mechanical issues, she is surrounded by yes men who are giving her phony praise while ignoring the basics. What you're doing in your workout is important, but I have to say that who is working with you is also important. I'm not sure who the young man working with Angel is, and I'm not sure if he is a part of the Sky organization or not, but my guess is that he isn't, and I hope that he isn't, because there are things that need to be fixed, but instead I hear him nod and praise her on social media, which is how you build greatness. When real competition starts, real players don't need applause for every dribble. They need direct, unrelenting coaching. Angel isn't being prepared to thrive against WNBA defenses. Instead, she's being polished to stay popular online. When the real games start, when image and hype are no longer protective, will Angel survive the jump, or will she crumble under the pressure? You hear the guy say tough when she makes a shot, which makes the shot tough. Whatever you want to say in terms of praise, that's his way of saying that's hot, that's right on, that's knocking it down, that's the way to do it. But he really needs to be fixing Angel's form over at the Indiana Fever camp. The difference is that night and day practices are purposeful and detail-driven, with every pick and roll being executed with purpose and every fast break handled with care. Yvonne Edgum was finishing strong at the rim. Bree Hall was honing her mid-range and spot-up threes, and Michaela Michaela Timpson looked fearless, catching lobs with authority like a seasoned pro. Back in Angel's world, we see a few sporadic jump shots in an empty gym with no coach, no corrections, and no urgency. One side is methodically preparing for greatness, while the other is rushing for Instagram highlights. Behind it, players weren't just going through the motions, they were grinding toward a goal. Bree Hall again made a good shot, catching lobs Palamidi from Yvonne Egypt Hall to the basket nearly 40% of the time. I want to show you, to shorten this, how much elasticity we have in football performance. I want you to take a look at her form. I'll go back a little bit. This is her left arm. I'm right-handed, so when I demonstrate something, it will be the opposite for me. But however, as you can see, this arm is pretty good. It's the shooting arm, which would be her left arm. I always say that it's kind of like a waiter carrying a tray with the off arm, which is actually meant to guide. And the other arm is problematic because, as you can see, it completely covers her face. Then there's Angel's shooting form, which is terrible, really awful. Any coach worth their salt would fix it right away. Her offhand crosses over her face like she's dabbing mid-shot. Her follow-through is off balance. Her elbow flares wildly out and her wrist snaps inward instead of following the ball. If you're wondering why her shots clank off the rim so frequently, this is your answer. Then her palm is facing her on the inside, which is kind of strange. I'm not sure how you do that. As you can see, it's crossed over her face, over her eyes, and this is here, and it's like this on the ball. As I said, it's the reverse, because Caitlin Clark's technique appears instinctive as she catches a pass clean, crisp, and without wasting motion. She doesn't even believe it's instinctive, the result of thousands of hours of real practice not curated for a camera. Meanwhile, Reese isn't being held accountable for these mistakes, which is a ticking time bomb waiting to explode once she faces real defenses who won't care how many Instagram followers she has, edited for likes. Every move on the floor is a natural result of pure repetition and dedication. She doesn't need the showmanship. Her fundamentals are perfect enough to do the talking. Michaela Timpson always goes up and grabs, but if you're throwing it too much to the left hand, there's another defender coming in. That's bad in my opinion, but it's a good catch, a very, very good catch. Getting it down, buttoning it back up, a very solid catch. When you see Caitlin at work, you can tell that she's the real deal. At the end of the day, it's simple. One player is chasing a moment, the other is chasing a dynasty. One is building an image, the other is building a legacy. And that new Angel Reese McDonald's commercial where she goes, "Nothing but that," knows that commercial took weeks to make, man. At this point, McDonald's is trolling me because this is everything, but that bang again, know why, what is she doing, hear what none of you say. She's my favorite hooper. Look at this gentle touch. Caitlin Clark and the new rookies are laying a solid foundation that can withstand the brutal demands of a WNBA season. Angel Reese may be racking up likes now, but when the season gets serious, hashtags won't save you. It's like a pillow. You know that Caitlin Clark was more likely to make a three-pointer than Angel Reese was to make a layup. That's a real stat bang. But it's close. It's good to see him working out. You have Aaliyah Boston giving Michaela Timpson advice, so I would assume that Timpson will make the team because she's a rim runner who played for Super FSU, who weren't bad. I know that FSU wasn't great after Tana Latson left, but they weren't bad at all. You can see footage of them running the pick and roll again. And I like that Caitlin's slip pass. I also like that there isn't any ostentatiousness here. The Indiana Fever rookies are demonstrating exactly what it takes to succeed in the professional ranks. Work and laser-sharp focus. Aaliyah Boston, who is already becoming one of the team's leaders, has taken on the role of mentor, offering Michaela Timpson insightful advice. Michaela isn't just nodding, she's putting those lessons into practice right away, flying up and down the court with purpose, displaying smart rim runs and serious efficiency. There are no staged highlights or fake glamour, just real athletes building real careers, one difficult practice at a time. Meanwhile, while some other players appear more concerned with their social media clout, the Fever are working quietly, creating something genuine. And in the end, it's not the clicks or the filters it's hard work that determines who succeeds and who quietly fades after a year. And to be fair, That's a good catch, a real good catch, but again, don't say too much about it. We'll take that from Michaela Timpson, and we'll take good hands, good running ability, and some athleticism. That's all we need. Michaela Timpson doesn't need gimmicks to draw attention. A clean play demonstrates her value, catching the ball in stride, maintaining balance, and finishing with strength are the fundamentals that coaches look for in a professional. Put on the show. Rookie Michelle satisfies all requirements without having to put on a show. Her strong hands, quick decisions, and genuine athletic ability are what get you minutes in the WNBA. In contrast, Angel Reese's movements appear awkward. Her control is shaky, and her fundamentals are barely holding up. Now, she catches the pass and shoots the basketball, but she's too low, so she drags that foot. It's interesting how she drags that foot. She does that a lot. After that, she has the ball, but it's too low, this offhand. It still seems a little strange the way it is, but moving on, I want you to notice how different this looks from what we've discussed before. In a league as competitive as the WNBA, players need to channel their energy with skill and control. That's why it was frustrating to see an active player like Celeste Taylor pass over last season. It felt like a true waste of potential. Chrissy Sitt's previous system prioritized slow, methodical play, pounding the ball into the paint rather than letting loose with athleticism and speed. Appears to be over now thanks to a revised game plan. Dynamic athletes like Michaela Timpson, who combine agility and true explosiveness, will finally have their chance to shine on the runway because in today's game, it's the versatile, fast-pacing players who define the future. We need defense. Defense, good hands, and like running, that's all we need out of a power forward. However, it's good to see the rookies back there at the elite level. Technique must hold up not only when you're fresh, but when you're worn out and under pressure. Real greatness is revealed when you're exhausted and the clock is running out. For this reason, athletes like Caitlin Clark and Michaela Timpson put a lot of effort into making sure that every movement comes naturally to them. This is especially important when the pressure builds, as Angel Reese has too many loose habits that will come back to haunt her. Her form and mechanics may be fine in controlled situations, but as soon as fatigue sets in during actual WNBA games, those flaws will be revealed. Sloppy mechanics don't just miss shots, they ruin your entire game under pressure. Survive because they have battle-tested skills. Angel is currently playing on borrowed time, and no one even protects her. Come on, don't treat her disrespectfully. Of course they will protect her in the paint when she is playing volleyball, as you can see, and when she's playing ping pong with the backboard, they will prevent her from enjoying herself. They will also protect her when she is flopping like a fish out of water, giving her oxygen. Finally, they will attempt to protect her in the paint when she is stat batting for her own double-doubles, am I correct? When things get tough and fatigue sets in, even players with textbook form struggle to maintain consistency. If your foundation is already unstable, it's game over when the real pressure starts. You must paint because you will look like the defensive player of the year against her every single time. Angel Reese's awkward crossed-arm shooting form is more than just a minor technical issue, it's a huge red flag. If you start with a broken base, however, no amount of practice reps can save you. There are crazes to build a range without a solid shooting base. It might look fine in ideal circumstances, but the first sign of stress and it collapses. Angel can spend endless hours filming fancy gym sessions, but in the WNBA, no one's paying attention. Her own island doesn't guard her hand down, man down, butter, call her jump shot because you can't go anywhere near it. Radioactive watch. Possessions like this. Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. She won't say Caitlin Clark's name. It's because of Me Too. They're giving out trophies for who posted the most workout reels so they can see who's still hitting shots when the lungs are burning, and every possession matters. Right now, it doesn't look good. Additionally, I want you to understand that if you want to consider yourself a top athlete, every internet post you make turns into an audition. No one is forcing you to release videos, but when you do, Angel Reese may make headlines with her popularity and personality, but at the professional level, discipline, fundamentals, and unwavering attention to detail are what make careers. Eventually, all those missing pieces will catch up with the bright lights and social media buzz, which can only conceal poor form and shaky fundamentals for so long before the reality of elite competition exposes everything. I'm sorry, young lady. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody would be pleased by your technique, which is brutally honest, doesn't lie, doesn't flatter, and doesn't lie. The WNBA is on fire because of Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever practices. You can already see the stark divide because Caitlin Clark isn't depending on carefully edited footage or viral moments. Her fundamentals speak for her. Michael Timson is demonstrating that she's not just athletic, but technically sound, coachable, and ready to contribute. These players aren't chasing short-term fame. Instead, they're creating long-lasting impact. And when the real season starts, when every possession is a struggle, if you're excited about the season's Fever, leave a comment below. I've got the Fever down. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss it. The athletes who put in the silent, selfless work will be the ones who rise, the ones who chose building over branding, the ones who stayed in the gym long after the cameras stopped rolling, the ones like Caitlin Clark and Indiana's new rookies who are ready to leave a real legacy, not just a trending hashtag.